welcome to the Urban League Centennial Gala press conference. We are grateful to all of you for being with us and excited about the festivities this evening where we celebrate 100 years of success and all of the various programs that the Urban League has done over the past century. It is my pleasure to introduce the first participant in our press conference today, Richard Mark, who is the president of Ameren, Illinois, one of the top African Americans in corporate America, who is someone that I have known for many years who is committed to the advancement of not only the Urban League, but the entire community. And we appreciate his service and that of Ameren's and our partnership that we have had really since we have existed. We thank you for your leadership, Richard, and we want to welcome you to the podium.
Thank you, Michael. We're really, at Ameren, we're really proud to be here to congratulate Michael and the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis for all they do for the community. As Michael said, we've had a long partnership, not only working together financially, but also working together on programs to really empower the community and give an opportunity for individuals in our community to improve themselves. And I just want to commend Michael for all he's done in his role as leading the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis. A lot of people don't know that the Urban League serves both Illinois and Missouri, and I know Michael's working diligently in trying to improve and expand those services throughout our region. And so on behalf of Ameren and our 8,500 employees at Ameren, we would just like to congratulate the Urban League on its 100 years of service to our communities and to our area and for all you do. And Michael, no pun intended, but we'd like to say thanks a million for all you do for the St. Louis area. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We now have the privilege of hearing from another leader in the corporate community, Ann Moore, who is the highest ranking African American at the largest African American owned company in the United States that we are very proud of having here in St. Louis. Worldwide Technology is a $10 billion company with offices in 11 different countries around the globe, and they have been a great friend to the Urban League and a true supporter of mine for many years, and we're very grateful to the founder and chairman, David Stewart, and Ann for being with us today. Please welcome Ann Moore.
Hello, everyone. I kind of got off my game when I saw Viola Davis walk in, so I got a little starstruck, so I apologize. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of this 100th Centennial Celebration. So excited to be here. And Worldwide Technology, as Michael mentioned, Dave Stewart is our chairman, and we are the largest African-American owned company in the U.S., and very proud to be here in the St. Louis area. And I'm excited to announce that Worldwide also joins companies like Ameren in support of the Urban League, and we are committed to $1 million over the next 5 years to further the mission of this amazing organization. And this commitment by Worldwide continues to strengthen the long-standing partnership that we have here. But you know, it's all about leadership, and it's leadership with Michael and his team. So we are just honored to be a part of this community and to support this amazing organization. Now, I know I don't have a fancy check like Richard had, and I'm not going to stand next to his check because it doesn't have the Worldwide logo, but we are good for that million, okay? We're good for it. So again, thank you guys. Happy to be here on behalf of Worldwide Technology.
So our next two speakers are known not only in St. Louis and Missouri and the nation, but around the world. And I know that, Ms. Davis, you hear this all the time, but I am going to officially claim I am your #1 fan. I will show you that. My mother and I compete for who is your #1 fan, but it's either one of us. She will be here later today, and we are so grateful to you for being here with us. She is the only African American in the history of the United States to have an Academy Award, an Emmy, a Tony, a Golden Globe, a People's Choice Award, and then also use her position, her voice, and all that she can bring to bear for social justice and trying to help others throughout this country. So we are unbelievably excited to hear your message tonight. Thankful to you for being here and Julius for making all of this happen, and we appreciate you in so many ways. The incomparable Viola Davis.
I thought you would ask me questions. I didn't know I had to speak, but yeah, I'm happy to be here on behalf of the Urban League that's been serving the community for over 100 years. And you know, whenever you look at any problems in a community, it starts at the core. It starts education, starts at community building. It starts at building families and whatever the needs of the families are. And you know, with our communities, with many, many years of Jim Crow, which no one talks about, just sort of disappeared. I don't know if it's even in history books anymore. But it's done a job on us. And it takes building these communities back. But more importantly, for me, my message has always been, it's like a famous James Baldwin quote that says, the reason why people hold on so stubbornly to hate is they know that once the hate is gone, then they have to deal with the pain. And we know that stereotypes say more about the people who created them than the people that they're about. But unfortunately, we have been on the receiving end of hate and policies that have kept us back for so long. And the sort of building that it needs, and it takes our organizations like the Urban League, but also it takes the help of our community in understanding where the help is needed, the passion that it takes, like it took, you know, the number of people in Birmingham many years ago with the I Am a Man whole campaign. It took them not taking buses, walking 3-4 hours of work, shutting down the bus system, whatever it takes in order to get the justice that is required for us to have the sort of humanity that God has given us. So it's with great passion that I'm here, you know, to be whatever help I can give, which is, I don't know, me getting up and speaking from the microphone, adding my celebrity, my afro, I don't know. But to say that we're worth it. As African American community, we are worth it. We don't have to hustle for it anymore, not in 2018. We don't even have to have a black president. We don't have to have a Harvard education. We don't have to do anything. We were born worthy, and we deserve everything that any human being on the face of this earth deserves. And that's whatever we want, if we're willing to work for it. That's my message. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our last speaker is Mr. Eric Benét, who is not only a platinum recording artist, but someone who also gives of his time, talent, treasure, and energy to help social causes, justice, and charitable issues across America. And in his case, every African-American woman that I have ever known has asked me for tickets to this event after it was sold out 2 weeks ago. People have been claiming that they went to grade school with me, that are 20 years older than me, so that they could come see you, and they are excited to hear your concert tonight, and we are grateful for you being here. Please welcome Eric Benét.
Thank you, sir. As much as I am in awe of everything that the Urban League has accomplished for my people and this country and the world, I can think of no greater injustice than making me follow Viola Davis. What? Wow. I'm just someone who, like so many, I'm just honored to be here. I'm honored to I think back to the stories of my mother and father growing up in Mobile, Alabama, and them so vividly telling me stories of being literally chased by the KKK on the way home and from school, and um, all the very challenges that they have and had back then. And I think of the Urban League and um, the litany of um, accomplishments and help and reaching out that enabled me to be here and have a career of singing songs of I think back to the small businesses that wanted to just have a general store in the days of you know I'm at a loss for words, but I'm just honored to be here. Um, Thank you for inviting me to help celebrate 100 years. I look forward to being here next year. If you have me, just please don't make me follow Miss Davis. And no, thank you for everything. Thank you. And it's an honor. Thank you.
And this afternoon, we are also very excited to welcome Alderwoman Marlene Davis, who is here, who I'd like to please stand, who is the city council person for our headquarters and also our new Community Empowerment Center that we are announcing for North St. Louis City that you see a picture of here to my left. We are very proud of the fact that she sponsored legislation to provide the Urban League with a community empowerment center right on Spring, a block away from our headquarters, where we will be able to consolidate our energy assistance programs, have a special effort to deal with young African American college students to provide them with scholarships and internships so that we can keep our most competent, qualified, and capable young people here in St. Louis. In addition, we will have an African American business incubator in that facility as well, along with an apprenticeship job training program. So Alderwoman, thank you for all that you have done to provide us with this 20-year lease. We are very grateful for your partnership and thankful to Frankie Eichenberger, who I'd like to ask to please stand, who is the regional vice president and Frankie is a member of the board of the executive committee and is the highest ranking woman at U.S. Bank and has been a longtime supporter of the Urban League and has provided $50,000 through the U.S. Bank Foundation for what will hopefully soon be the expansion of our Ferguson Community Empowerment Center. And we are truly grateful to U.S. Bank for our partnership because what we will provide from the funding that the bank has given us is what we call an urban closet. So young African American men and women who don't have suits, shirts, ties, shoes, and things to go into the workforce will get all of those things provided by the funding from U.S. Bank so that literally less than 8 months from the day we opened the Ferguson Community Empowerment Center, with over an 80% African American construction build number, we will actually now be purchasing the property behind the facility to expand it. So we are truly grateful to the bank and to our Alderwoman for providing us with the ability to do 2 different facilities in the midst of this centennial. So thank you both for all that you have done.
Standing here with Eric Benét, who is a Grammy-nominated R&B singer and songwriter, and I don't even want to say R&B because he's a singer-songwriter and probably could cross all genres and be terrific. Eric, thank you for the few minutes that you have here with me. Tell me how you connect with the Urban League's 100 years of empowering communities and empowering communities and lives, basically.
Well, everything that we are as a community and everything that we're accomplishing right now is because, the Urban League was there 100 years ago, giving us opportunities where we couldn't find them otherwise and helping us fight battles that we couldn't fight by ourselves. And, so it's just an honor to be here to help celebrate that and to keep it going. And it just seems like now more than ever, we need that unity within our community because things aren't as advancing as quickly, obviously, as we'd like them to. It almost seems like we're falling back a few steps. And so institutions like the Urban League are more important now than ever.
And speaking of that, you had it was a song out some years ago. It was called "Sometimes I Cry."
Mm-hmm.
What makes you cry when you look at what's going on in the world?
Yeah, when people are probably one of the saddest things is when people don't realize the power that they already have within themselves. That there's power in vulnerability. That if you allow yourself to admit to yourself that you need help, to reach out. And it's really sad when people don't know that that help is always there. And that help is empowering. That help.
So it's not just particular incidents. It's not the racism or what we just saw happen. I forgot what community. It's just
I was speaking in much broader terms, but yeah, that all makes me cry. To answer the question, I mean, to know that we are subject to uh, Second Amendment stipulations that are a couple hundred years old that are really no longer relevant today, and our lawmakers are beholden to their donors, and our children are dying because of that. I mean, today was just such a profound day. I got a chance to see some of the march on Washington D.C. today, and yes, that makes me cry. But what makes me rejoice is what I was talking about before. Like, these children have empowered themselves by reaching out to each other, banding together, and using their strength in numbers to raise their voices. And that's just been um, it's a very historic time we're living in right now, and it's incredible to witness.
there's some promise there.
There's promise. There's promise. There's promise. There's promise for us as a community, and there's hope for us as a nation. This is a very dark time for our country right now, and but it's often in these hours that we band together and we really find our strength.
Now, two of the things that I've always heard people describe you and your music, one of the adjectives I would say sensitive.
Sensitive.
Do you take that? Is that okay?
I take that as a compliment.
Okay.
I take that as a compliment. I think sensitive is another word for maybe emotional or emotionally sensitive, and that's one of the things that make us most human. You know, that we can emote and we can empathize and we can relate, and as an artist, I think, yeah, we got a bit of an advantage there, because if I'm making art, then what I'm doing is I'm digging to the most sensitive part of myself and saying to the world, look, here it is. And somehow through that offering, I found over my career that I've been able to help people, because men, especially men, are not as uh, eloquent at expressing how they feel. And a lot of guys come up to me and say, "Yo, because you wrote that song, and that's exactly what my lady needed to hear." And so that's just the best feeling in the world.
Now, and the second adjective, and you know which one that is, right?
Sit. No, it's not that.
You know I was going to say that, right? You know I was going to say that. Now, how do you deal with that?
It's really
Because listen,
kind of funny.
R&B, a lot of R&B, balladeers and singers, the Donny Hathaways,
Yeah.
the Luther Vandrosses,
Yeah.
the Otis Reddings back in the day, they were not called sexy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of different.
Some of the artists that you just mentioned. Troubled comes to mind when I think of Marvin, or I think of like Prince, or I think of some.
But
of
not
the
even
artists.
Michael Jackson. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
So did it help or hurt your career? Or do you think it helped or hurt your brand, I should say?
I think
I mean, I would never have taken a girl to see an Eric Benét concert. I'm just letting you know.
then you missed out, bruh. You missed out, because if you come to the Eric
Just wasn't doing
Benet
it.
show,
I just wasn't doing it.
you know what's going down after. So I mean, I take it as a compliment, man. It's all good.
So it was
I think
good for the career.
Look, I think I was another box of toothpaste on a row. In the music industry, it's all about marketing and branding, and for whatever reason, that made me stand out. It's like,
Okay.
okay, so why should I
So,
check him out?
since we're wrapping up, just tell me what are you working on, or what can we expect next from Eric Benét?
Yeah, so Faith Evans and I are actually doing a duets project.
Okay.
I'm really excited about that. We have a long history together. She's incredible to work with. And later this year, we're going out on a tour, and we'll probably go into the studio to support that with some incredibly magical recording. So.